you guys ready for the second part of this project? It has 2 different pieces to it. I hope you enjoy it.
For our second project, it's going to happen in a couple of different phases. So it seems like we need a lot of stuff, but it's really not so bad. It'll make sense in a couple of minutes. We need some black paper, and I cut mine into smaller pieces so I can have some smaller rectangles to work with. I need a piece of watercolor paper or white paper, and I'm using another piece of black paper kind of as a frame. You don't need this part, but if you have it, it could add some nice details to your project. I have a bowl that we're going to use to trace. I have some watercolors, and with that I have my water, my paper towel, and my brush. I have a white pencil because a white pencil is going to show up on black paper, some scissors, and a glue stick. So let's just kind of work our way through this and you'll see how it's going. Let's start with this to make this paper smaller and kind of, I have a crayon here just so I can trace. I should have said a pencil or a crayon too, sorry about that. And that's it, all we need for the bowl. So that I'm going to put out of my way so I can't see it. And now I'm going to cut this circle from the paper. All the projects we've been doing, I bet you guys are getting some really good cutting skills at this point. Keeping your elbow tucked in and working your way around. I'm cutting it into a round shape just to make it a different project, a little bit more interesting. You don't have to do this part. If you don't want to make it into a circle, you don't have to. You can keep this a rectangle, you can make it a square, you could make it a triangle, anything you want to do. I'm just trying to do something different. We've done a lot of paintings and a lot of drawings, and I just want to show you that things can be done in a lot of different ways. So I've cut it into a circle, and I'm going to keep this paper as my frame, and I'm going to glue it on here afterwards. I wanted the circle smaller than the black paper so that it would fit on here like this. I'm not ready to glue it yet, but I'm going to put it here. I just wanted to measure that. The next step for this is we're going to do the sunset kind of background, or the background for this, and let this dry while we'll work on the next part. We just did this for the other project, so you should be really familiar. We have our watercolors. I'm going to open them up, and we're just going to paint a painting. So you could make this a daytime scene or a nighttime scene. It's totally up to you. I'm just going to play with some colors and see what happens. I think I want it to be nice and bright and sunny. So I'm going to do some nice bright colors. Sometimes things fade into blue. I'm going to make it fade into blue. So what's going to happen when I overlap this blue and this orangey color? Is it going to make a new color? Look at that. It made a new color. All right. So we've colored our circle. I'm going to put this off to the side to dry for a few minutes. I'm going to use my paper towel. I'm just going to clean up the paint that ended up on our table. I don't want to ruin the rest of my project with that. Put aside, close my box. That's it for painting, and put those off to the side. So now we're going to bring out those rectangles that I talked about. I have a few different sizes. This all adds up to one regular piece of paper. I just cut it in half, and then I cut that one in half, and that's all I did. You can use whatever you need. I'm going to take this and I'm going to fold it in half end to end. Match those edges, press down, fold. I like to use the back of my nail. It helps make that nice and strong. And now we're going to draw a picture on here. There was a lot of butterflies in our story today, so I'm going to draw the half of a butterfly. And I'll show you why we're only drawing half. Because butterflies are very symmetrical. They're even on both sides, and it's really hard to do that just drawing both sides separately. So we're going to draw both sides kind of at the same time and cut them. I'm going to draw on the folded side of the paper, not on the open. I'm drawing on the folded side of the paper. I'm going to start my butterfly with a little bit of a half circle, because that's going to be the butterfly's head. Then I'm going to draw the butterfly's body, and I'm going to half the body, so it's going to curve up, and then it's going to go off the edge of the paper. Now I want to draw its wings. I'm going to start at about a little down the body from the head. I'm going to go out and around and come back to the body about halfway down the body. For the second wing, it's usually tucked underneath, so we're going to start out here at the end of the wing, kind of at the bottom, and I'm going to curve out and around, and I'm going to go back to the butterfly's body here. So now we have half a butterfly. Can you see it? I'm going to go over that outline, the outside edge, just to make it a little darker for myself, make it easier, because this is the part we're going to cut. We don't want to cut the inside lines. We're just going to cut the outside lines. My scissors, I'm going to hold it up, and I'm going to cut starting at the fold. I'm going to come in, and I'm going to cut around. Take my time. Make a nice clean outline. So here we go. Here's the big surprise. You ready? The big reveal. I'm going to unfold it. And ta-da! We have a nice butterfly. I want to keep this. There's another project that we're going to do with this part. So I'm going to keep this and put it aside, and I'm going to give you one extra project to do with this, because this is a really fun outline, and I don't want things to go to waste if they don't have to. So we're just going to put this off to the side. I'm going to make a couple more butterflies for my scene. So I have all my butterflies now. And the fun thing about making more than one of something is sometimes you can decide whether you want to use them all or one or two, but each time you do them, you get a little bit better at making them, and you learn a little bit about how to make them and what works and what doesn't work. Now, when I drew this one, I drew the head a little weird, and I feel like it's a really kind of strange shaped head. I can go back and try to change that and edit it, or I can use it as it is, or I can decide that I just don't really like that one for my composition and I'm just not going to use it at all. So let's bring back our sunset. It's pretty dry now, and I'm going to bring back that black piece of paper. We're going to glue this to here first. Nice big circle, dot in the middle, and we're going to make a nice circle. And now we're going to glue this right on here however we want it, right in the middle. I'm going to look at all my sides, see if they're about the same. This one seems small. I'm going to nudge it this way. That way. That seems about in the middle. I'm going to press it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sounds good. So the next thing I'm going to do is get my butterflies, and I'm going to glue them on here. Turn this over. I'm going to put my glue on the same side that I drew my lines. That's something that's important. You don't want to see a butterfly with half the lines on here. So I'm going to put the glue on the same side as the lines. I'm going to put some glue on the wings, in the middle, on its head, and on the other wing. And then I'm going to glue it down wherever I think it works. Let's see, how about right here? Oh, the glue broke. That's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'm only going to use one more butterfly. I think I'm going to put this one right here. I kind of like that it's starting to fly right off the edge. So maybe I'll do that where it's not quite all the way on. And I'm going to put this one right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we are. We have our sunset with our butterflies in silhouette. If you want, you can add other details. You can take your paper that you had left over and maybe you could cut some other things out of there. Maybe you can cut some little leaf shapes and you can put them off the edge of the paper. Maybe you can cut, let's see, that can go like that maybe. Maybe you could cut a little bit of a flower or something. It's up to you. You can draw maybe a tree or a tree stump, whatever you want. It's up to you if you want to do this. You could also just do some long skinny ones that wiggle up to the top and cut that off. And then we're going to do this one up. But I'm going to make it stop at a point. Stop. And then I'm going to do another one. Stop. So this is all just scrap paper, so I can do as many things as I want with it. And now maybe I can glue these pieces down. Let's see. These can look a little bit like pieces of grass. Oh, I made this one too long. What can I do about that? I can just cut it off. Press it down. I'll put this in my tray. I don't need that one anymore. Another piece of grass. Some glue on the back. I'm going to put this one where I want it. Let's see. Maybe this one's taller. That one fits mostly, but I still think it sticks up the end, so I'm going to trim a little in the end. There we go. And I have one more piece of grass here, maybe right there. If I want to, I can even cut it before. I can kind of get an idea of how long it'll be and cut it before. It's too hard to cut it when it's already glued. Some glue on here. And I'm going to put a couple of my leaves. Maybe I'll put my leaves over here. Maybe they're flying by a tree. Yeah, I like that. Maybe they're flying by a tree. Or they're flying up to a tree. Maybe that's what's happening. I'll put a couple of leaves right here. And put a cap on the glue and wrap it up. And here we have our summer scene in silhouette. For our last project, we're using the leftover pieces from when we cut the silhouettes out of the butterflies, so I hope you kept some of those. I have two here. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to take them and we're going to get some tissue paper, which is the paper that you use when you wrap up presents. You could also use white paper if you want to, but tissue paper is nice and thin and it helps with that. You can cut them to the right sizes and you glue them on the back. I'll show you. If you wanted, you can use a color. Put it on top, get an idea of where you want it to be. If you need to, you can draw a line. The tissue paper is so soft, you could even just draw a line with your fingernail. Just draw a line across. I'm going to cut it. Put the extra piece off to the side. I'm going to put some glue around and make sure you're putting glue on the same side that you did the white. We're going to put the glue here, here, and here, and a big rectangle around. Pick up our tissue paper. I'm going to lay it right on top. So the glue's in the same side as the white pencil. Press it down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to flip it over and we see what we got. Look at that. Now if you hold it up to some light, then you're able to see right through it. I don't know if that will show up here or not. Now another way you can do it, if you want to add some different colors to it, is we can do it with white paper, white tissue paper. So do the same process. I measured it and I cut it already. I'm going to put the glue in the same side as the white pencil. Here's the white pencil. Rectangle around the butterfly. Close my glue. Tissue paper right on top. Smooth it out and press it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. turn it over. And we have our butterfly. You can leave it just like this, but if you want to add a few more details, you can use some markers and you can draw right on the edges. Maybe you want to color in the wing or just kind of do the outsides of the wing. Make some dots. Remember the butterflies are very symmetrical. Whatever's on one side is on the other side. Maybe I want to do some other dots. 1, 2, 3. Just pressing down your marker gives you a nice perfect little circle. And that's it. My butterfly's all colored, ready to hang in the window. Thank you for watching.